Hey guys, what's going on? APL here, and I wanted to preface what you're about to hear with a little bit of information. So for a little while now, I've been wanting to do a podcast with my roommate Rishi. He's one of my best friends. We always end up in pretty interesting conversations whenever we kind of get down to brass tacks about life and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of you will probably know him. He works at Machinima with me. He works on the partnership group at Machinima, and he's just a super interesting guy, super intelligent, and someone that, like I said, I consider one of my best friends. So this basically is just going to be the first episode. It wasn't even like when I originally recorded this, I was just like, well, let's record it and see how it feels, how it goes. If we talk about some interesting stuff, maybe we can use it for the first episode of the to-be-named podcast. And I'm calling it Apartment 109 because obviously that's the apartment number that we're in. I won't give you any more intel than that. But Apartment 109. So this is the first episode, and it's just about 20 minutes long. But we get into some super interesting topics, things like life after death, women in LA. We talk about work ethic and even the war on drugs in general and our opinions on that. And I want this to be something interactive where you guys listen to this and give your leave in the comments your own feedback about what you think on opinions and all that kind of stuff. Because I love reading that stuff, and I know Rishi does too. So it could become somewhat interactive in that sense. So hopefully you guys enjoy this and find it as interesting as I hope you will. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into the first topic, life after death.
I'm recording, by the way.
Okay.
I'm gonna put that right in the middle.
Yeah, what happens when you die? Like that's the thing.
That's the ultimate life question, man. What happens when you die? I think.
Is it just like one big dream and you go into kind of like a dream like state or?
Man, this is what haunted me. This was my biggest hang up when trying to finally kick my Christianity, which sounds like negative, but just decide that I didn't believe it anymore.
Yeah.
Was that what if I'm wrong?
Yeah.
And what if I've been told this whole time and I turn my back on it and there is a hell?
Yeah.
And I fucking die and I appear before someone, or I don't even have a chance. I'm just cast.
Yeah.
And I come out of a daze and it's like that shit, because that's from a childhood when I was told, when I was 6 years old, I was told if I don't accept Jesus, I'm going to end up separated from my family and my loved ones, and I'm going to burn in a lake of fire.
Yeah.
So it's like, even now as a rational 25-year-old, I don't believe that. But it still
sticks around.
It still sticks around, and I mean, I think you just cease to. I think you cease to be. I mean, it's just like anything that dies, which isn't necessarily like cool or sounds romantic. But
I think the key is understanding what happens with your subconscious when you die.
Subconscious, yeah.
Because it's like essentially your body's stopped working. Your brain's not there anymore.
Yep.
You're done. Nothing is being activated. So what is going on? Like that's the life question. I mean, is it reincarnation? Are you?
It could. I mean, I like the reincarnation idea. It's kind of cool. That's a Hinduism thing.
Yeah, that's a Hinduism thing. And then or it's just maybe you just.
I think it's done, man. I think this is what I would say. I mean, obviously your legacy lives on, and you have kids and all that kind of stuff. And I do think that there are. I don't know if because I believe in paranormal shit. I've seen paranormal shit, and I think what that could be is something undiscovered by science that is like you said, either an aura, because there's shit that they find that is the human body is a fucking incredible power machine.
Yeah.
And when it's on Earth, dude, it could fucking it does incredible things. So it's hard for me to believe with the brain power and stuff we have, that there couldn't be something that survives after we're gone. Like whether it's a ghost or whatever that is. Like we call it ghost, but we don't understand what it is. Maybe it's loose energy that we don't know, like it's just kind of released, and maybe that's what we are.
Yeah.
We exist in loose energy now.
Ball of energy.
But I don't think we're going to be like, it's not going to be like we're conscious now.
Yeah.
It's so hard. Yeah, man.
That's what I always wonder is like, what's the consciousness going to be?
How epic would it be? Well, there's people that have been, one thing, if you ever wanted to research on this, there's people that have been clinically pronounced dead for like a certain amount of time, and then recall what their experiences were like, because they're like, their heart stopped beating, their brain was shut off.
What did they?
It depends. A couple of them, like some of them are super religious. Like some dudes, like I saw, which then tells me that it's like your brain firing synapses, because he's like, I saw Jesus, I saw angels, I saw heaven, but then he's like, and then they said you need to go back. Your time's not here. Which, okay, I mean, maybe that could be cool. Maybe that is real. Or it's his brain firing synapses, and it just synced up with the fact when they fucking shocked him back after 2 hours of being pronounced dead. He came to, and his brain was just, he wasn't. It's like we say, like when the body's dead, but when does the brain die? Like
That's the question, yeah.
I mean, they can hook up a fucking EKG to your heart, and they can monitor your brain activity, but I don't think a flat line necessarily means you're done.
No.
The brain is fucking so powerful.
The brain is indeed powerful. It's got a lot going.
So yeah, no, it's an age-old question, man. What happens when we die? I don't know. Do you have any theories? I mean, mine is that we just cease to be, maybe exist in some other energy. I don't think we're obviously not thinking about it because we're not.
Yeah.
It's just like we never were.
Yeah.
The way I would describe it is like think about like what your family's life would have been if you never existed.
Yeah.
And then just carry that going forward, which is it's not to say that you. I'm just saying that's how I think about non-existence.
Right.
It's like what if I just never came along?
Yeah.
And that's what it would be. I mean, you just cease to be.
Definitely.
So.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I think yeah, I really
it's a crazy question, man.
It could be in multiple things, and you know.
These are the life questions that people ask, man.
Oh yeah, dude. And it's like
none of them are easy, and everyone. It's a good question because that is literally everyone's number one. When you boil down everything else, there's very few people in this world that would be like, I'm content to die. Mm-hmm. Like I'm content, like where I am. I mean, no one wants to die unless you have a death wish or you're super depressed. But at the end of that's the ultimate question. It's like, what will become of me? What happens? Like that's. I think fear of mortality is is part of the reason that the human race is in such shit that it's in. It's like because we're all racing against the clock to gain more, whether that's through money, through power. We'll do whatever we can to hold on to that life that we have.
Right.
You know, you look in Hollywood. I mean, we're fucking in Hollywood. You see these people that are like in their 70s with like peeled, like look like Jason masks, man. You're like, let it go.
So many.
Let it go. Aging is a natural process.
Yeah. So many jaded women and people.
Yeah.
The amount of plastic surgery I see here too.
Dude, insane.
And it's
on
so
like young girl.
Too,
yeah, it'll be like on young women. Like they'll be like, I had 2 surgeries. You're like, you're 23.
Yeah. What the fuck?
What are you doing?
What do you need it?
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
I think that's also related to the fact that I feel like most women in LA have shit self-esteem.
I think so. I think that's true.
Shit self-esteem.
I think that's true.
Like, they're just kind of like they put on a front.
Right, but they're super insecure.
Super insecure though.
So many of them. I can tell. There's a funny thing when you look in when we were at the club. I was looking at all these girls. When you look in their eyes, there's always like to me I can always tell like I can see that insecurity and that unsureness and it's like, oh, is he looking at like. Yeah, I agree. I see that all the time in LA.
Yeah, it's so funny.
I don't know if I think because so many broken people come out here, man, who are trying to find something. Me included, you probably included, all of us.
I think we're all coming here to find something, and we're working.
That's why it's so cool because then everyone gets to work together. That's kind of why LA is awesome. It's like
I just feel like I think it's like the women that piss me off are the ones that are like they have low self-esteem, but they're super standoffish. They don't.
Yeah, right. But that standoffish is just a guard. It's not because it's like, well, I can't.
They shouldn't do that though. They're pretty girls. They're very attractive. They should be happy with who they are and be not afraid to
Yeah, it's easier said than done, man. Totally I think pretty girls have the worst issues, which is unbelievable. It's like unbelievable to think about. It's like, wow, you're fucking gorgeous. They're the ones that become bulimic. Think that they're never good enough for whoever they're dating.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And you're like. You were a 10. You were a 10 of 10.
You're fucking gorgeous.
And it's like, and then they just create all these problems. It's like, you know what? Being beautiful is not hard.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah.
And don't overthink it.
Exactly.
Like, and the women, you know what? Brings me back to Beyonce. Which, by the way, did you see all that shit with the photo that they're doing to Beyonce from the Super Bowl?
Doing so much work.
Oh my God, so much Photoshop. It's hilarious. But anyway, Beyonce is a perfect example of a woman who exudes confidence, almost to the point of being like bitchy, but she's like a woman.
Yeah.
And that's when, and like we're cool, like that's awesome. Like guys are like, I dig that. Beyonce's fucking sexy. She knows she's sexy. She's not a fucking dick about it, but she knows who she is.
Oh yeah.
And these women try to have that same kind of beauty, but they have that insecurity, which then they put up that wall, and then you can't get to them, and they're just playing with their own insecurities. They can't be happy with themselves.
Oh yeah, dude.
It sucks, man.
That's why I always.
Women are projects, dude. As much as guys are projects, women are projects and a half.
Absolutely, dude. I always wonder, like my next relationship, what is that going to consist of? Like, who is this person going to be? Yeah, I know.
Like when you look at your life like a year ago, it's like me too. It's like look at so much shit can happen in a year. People get married in a year. You might fall head over heels for someone tomorrow.
Yeah.
You have no idea, which is cool. Because it's like a whole life ahead of yours. Like Lester when he's like, I feel like I'm going to get married and divorced soon.
It's like, word, all right, man.
Fucking Lester.
Sure,
All right,
yeah.
well, whatever.
If you want to do that, that's your prerogative, my friend. I'm not going to knock that.
Lester.
Yeah, it's so interesting how much things can change and how quickly. And that's
Dude,
why
it's so fast.
It's difficult now because like my parents are like, oh, what's your plan? Like all this stuff, and I'm like, yeah, well, you know, I want to do all these things, and they're like, cool, well, plan it out. And I'm like, yeah, I want to plan it out, and I definitely do, and I will, but it's like,
What are they having you plan? What do you mean?
Just going back to school.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I want to go get my MBA, and then and
They're pushing for that.
Yeah.
That sounds like typical good Indian parents.
Yeah,
Push for.
They want me to. I mean, my mom's like, you know, look at me. You know, I worked up. And I'm CFO of a hospital, but all I have is a BA.
You Indians have the fucking most brutal. As far as because your parents fucking lived it.
Yeah.
So you can't be like Mom.
Yeah.
Like I fucking worked.
Yeah. Like,
you know what I mean?
I've worked.
She's done it all.
Yeah,
so it's like
she started. I mean, she's a huge inspiration for me because when she came to America, she just worked at fucking. She worked minimum wage jobs.
Did whatever she could. That's all. Dude, the Indian work ethic is unreal.
My mom and my dad were working, and then she just started working her way up, and now
that's
she's
awesome.
Like, and just made the right connections, did the right work, worked hard, fucking made a name for herself, and then
it's awesome.
We get moved companies and stuff like that, and now she's where she at. You know,
dude, it's hard work, man. Hard work pays off.
Always, yeah.
But I see that, and you have that same work ethic though. It's just ingrained in you, and I think I do too, to an extent, not to the same extent, but like it's like I want to do a good job. I want to be relied upon.
Yeah.
I don't want to be someone that people are like, oh, can we trust this guy?
Yeah.
Always got to be at the top of mind at work.
Exactly.
And in the same way, I feel like that, but.
It's a good thing and a lot.
It's a good thing and a bad thing though at times because then you focus on it so then you just burn
to
yourself
the fall,
out where it's like I'm overthinking this, I'm fucking doing a great job, and then the one little thing like you said, you'll get that one email and you'll be like it'll just fucking ruin. It's like I had everything set up. And that's why you just can't let that get to you. It's so hard though.
Yeah, it's so true. You have to let it go.
Yeah, I can't wait till the day when weed is like cigarettes.
Oh yeah,
which I think it's coming. More and more states are fucking.
At this rate,
it'll just be like okay, we'll sell it regulated. Yeah. That's what they do with everything. What is worse? It is the age-old debate is just epic that alcohol, like how is alcohol destroys more lives than anything.
There's no weed.
You don't hear of any weed. Never. Yeah. All you hear about is for
Come on, man. It's fucking Alcoholics Anonymous.
It's used for medicine. Yeah. It's used for people to fucking chill out and calm down.
Yeah, nobody's died off that shit, man.
Whereas alcohol is a fucking stimulant and depressant.
Yeah.
It makes you fucking angry. It makes you get DUIs. It makes you fight at bars. It makes you. It's like, dude, how many people die of fucking alcohol, drinking too much alcohol, alcohol poisoning, like you said, car accidents. Like if they fucking, how many, I was looking at a stat, it was something astounding about how many drunk driving car accidents there are. Like how many fatalities are caused because of drunk driving or just drunk behavior.
Yeah.
And it's something like, I mean, you could save like thousands and thousands. It's some stupid number. If like they were just like, okay, we're not going to serve alcohol. Which, you know, I don't advocate that either. I just say fucking regulate it all and make it all. Cocaine, fucking all of it. Like,
what about that though?
Well,
I feel like marijuana is a limit.
But this is the argument though, because then people go, well, then that's a slippery slope. Once you do marijuana, why can't we do cocaine? And it's like, well guess what?
Cocaine.
Right, but the reason that the drug cartels are so popular is because it's an illegal drug. If you made that shit legal, you would take that power right away from the drug cartel. They're like, oh, they're selling it in supermarkets. Looks like I don't need my friend Clarice in Rio fucking selling me the shit anymore. I can get it at Walmart with a prescription or something like that. I mean, obviously, there's no like cocaine is fucking.
There's no use.
But I'm just like the drug wars and stuff is all because it's just like illegal and they're like crack down. But it's like if someone wants to fucking snort coke. And fucking do it, you know, once they start hurting other people, obviously, just like anything else. It's like if someone smoked weed or fucking got drunk and hit someone, then they're liable.
There's liabilities,
But that's not the substance, like that's all on the person. Like, obviously, like bath salts and shit that make you lose your mind.
Yeah.
But, I mean, coke just fucking makes you super hype.
I still think that it's like, I don't know.
You disagree with me on this. I like this.
I don't. I still think that there should be the limit at weed.
You don't think anything else?
Well, no.
What about ecstasy? What about all that other stuff?
I don't think so yet. I think that maybe for MDMA, if they can use it for post-traumatic stress disorder.
And they use it for getting people to talk. Yeah, that's exactly what you're talking about.
In those instances, I think it's okay. I think it's it's beneficial in those things.
Yeah.
But I think the fact of the matter is with something like that, there's so much taboo around it that because there's so many deaths related to improper use.
No, you're right, but exactly. And I'm not saying that would go away with regulation. I don't believe the government. I think every time the government gets involved in something, it fucks it up.
Yeah.
For the most part. But all I'm saying is some of that stuff, like the cartels and all that stuff, if it was like, okay, it's no longer a crime to have it. It's no longer, they would have to. It's rough. You can't go go give everyone carte blanche and just do whatever they want.
Yeah.
But it's just too, like right now, especially with weed, it's like just fucking
I think
legalize it and just get it over with.
I think it should be weed first, legalize that, and then
come up with other parameters. But it's like,
I'm
dude,
not
you can fucking.
Anything that, to be honest, though, I still don't see a beneficial purpose of heroin or
I agree. No.
Cocaine.
Very habit forming.
Yeah, there's
it's
very
not
habit forming drugs that you're
I can agree with that.
Like,
to me, it's like I shouldn't be dictating. If someone wants to fuck up their life with heroin, it's not. It's like if they're my friend, I can try to stop them. But at the end of the day, it's their decision.
Right,
and if they're gonna put that needle in, it's not like.
But But this then I understand that.
But then it's a crime. But then it becomes a crime for them to put that needle in, and that's where I'm kind of drawing the line. Whereas if you make it less to sell it may be illegal, but it's like if you get caught with cocaine, you're fucked, right?
So I don't think though, but by making some parameters, even parameters, I think you're enabling people, and I don't want to enable people. I don't think.
God, I hate as humans that laws are just to protect us from ourselves. A lot of them.
It has to be because essentially we would enable the fuck out of everyone to be like, oh, I can do that, Like,
I don't think legalizing it is endorsing it though. I wouldn't say it's endorsing it. I would say
I'm not saying it's endorsing it, but it's enabling people to get it more
to get it more actively.
And if that's you don't want to have to open the floodgates of a drug to people that were not.
Yeah, no, you're right. So keeping it illegal, it's like so the kids that would never have tried it, maybe they'll be too scared and they'll stay away.
Exactly.
But it's like if you want to get cocaine, you can get cocaine. If you want to get anything, you can find it.
Of course, but the fact of the matter is that if you're like, oh yeah, it's legal, you can now. It's so much more accessible than it was before. Now, before you had to go to some seedy, sketchy dealer or something.
This just brings up so many interesting thoughts, though, about how, like, people's fucking entire lives are lived. Like, these cops that work in New York City and Chicago and L.A., their entire lives, like in a drug cop, is trying to protect these people from themselves. Really, that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
They're like, no, don't spread that around the neighborhood. You're going to get fucking, don't sell that. You're going to... And it's like, what? I don't know, man. I struggle with... I know that we have to live in, like, a civilized, like, a society... But it's like, fuck you, man. Don't tell me what I can and can't do. If I believe it's like the laws of natural selection. This goes back to my kind of atheism a little bit. But if that's readily available and someone's gonna fucking overdose and kill themselves, they were a weaker part of the species. Do you know what I mean? Like that sounds super heartless and like it would still suck.
It's the clear,
it literally becomes a clear cut line. It's the same kind of thing like when these kids go to raves and they rave irresponsibly and they die.
Yeah, it's
like. It's horrible, and you wish that they wouldn't have done that. Yeah. But at the end of the day, if we cut it down to like the brass atheist, fucking we are animals tax, they were not the superior species. No. They you know what I mean? They were weak. So they're because whatever by their own mind or they created a fatal flaw. Like you don't see in the animal kingdom when a fucking zebra takes a wrong turn at a rock and gets killed by a fucking lion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like the fucking animal kingdom's not like, oh man, dude, that was, oh man, I wonder what he could have done to prevent that. They're like,
he's dead.
He's dead. Yep. You know what I mean? Like and no one's mourning it. It's just the circle of life. And I think that obviously as humans we have emotions and it's not as easy.
Yes.
But and it's like it brings me back to the article with LA Weekly maybe.
The LA Time one was stupid, skewed article.
Was very skewed and very anti-raving. And obviously when you show pictures of all the dead kids in the bottom, I mean,
bro, yeah,
it's awful. But again, it's like. These events are massive, massive events.
Yeah, and if you're seeing out of 300,000 plus people being at this event,
right, which is already a crowd control nightmare. So many things can go wrong.
So exactly. So you're looking at that,
and these are young kids doing stupid things that, at the end of the day, dude, you can frisk people all you want. You can fucking check everywhere. If they want to get it, they will find drugs.
Absolutely.
And they will overdo it and they will kill themselves. Yeah, it's the same kind of thing. It's like that. That's what I'm just saying about that cat and mouse thing of the whole drug issue is that we don't need it. just fucking let it out there. Let these people fucking, if fucking America wants to get addicted, let Europe take over. Europe, let them be like, oh wow, everyone in America is addicted to heroin since it's legal now. We're gonna be over here. We're gonna rule the world again. Like,
there's so.
You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like
it would never happen though, man. That's like.
No, it will never. I'm talking pipe dream now.
Yeah,
I'm just saying my ultimate goal would just be them to stop the war on drugs because it's people die over it. It's not needed, and it's like at the end of the day, it's simply you are shooting a group of fucking Mexicans who are bringing cocaine into the cross country because because it has been legislated that they should not bring that to anyone or have them snort it, and it's worth dying over on both sides. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's a fucking plant.
Yeah, dude. It's the war on
or
drugs,
whatever it is. Cocaine's like cocoa.
Legit been one of the most unsuccessful wars.
Dude, yeah, it's said all the stats on it.
The amount of money being spent on it,
and that's why they are talking to other countries about just fucking legalizing it. Or not legalizing it, but like coming to other terms of like, so they're not warring with these drug lords who are fucking destroying villages and who are cutthroat. Like, we got to do something. We can't have our fucking people dying because of this shit. So,
well,
yeah, it's I don't know. Well, we can agree to disagree on that. I think I'm all for legalization of everything, just to have this because of that exact reason.
I'm more than willing to accept legalization of marijuana.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that. I will not budge from going any further than that, though.
Fair enough.
Well, the problem is that I'm sure that our government has not really done research on, but until they can do they fund research to say, look, we're trying to figure out if we want to make this legal or not. So like, let's give us your best fucking pitch here. Let's figure out why this.
Right.
Like we need to do the research and figure out. Okay, is there a way for us to genetically modify this or molecularly modify this so that it's a little bit safer? Like what do we need to do? So looking at all those things, I think the problem is that we were so like drugs are bad, no drugs, and drugs. We're not doing that research.
No,
and that's preventing us from moving forward or progressing with anything.
Totally.
That's
yeah.
So until that happens, we're all stuck at square one. We're
stuck.